guys, hope you're all well. Just a quickie this is going to be. As you can see, I've painted the anvil. I didn't film that. I drew the line at letting you watch paint dry. But I thought I know some of you have seen it, so I thought I'd share this again and sort of tell you what I'm going to do with it. So one of the first proper jobs, I'll call it a proper job, I'm going to do this, because I'm going to do a lot of messing about on this, to be fair, especially our little silly competition with Matt. But one of the proper jobs I'm going to do on it, which is, to be fair, it's not going to happen for a while because I'm getting all the bikes out of the way first, is this. Hold on, let me bring it over here because it's heavy. I bet you can't see that. No, my brilliant camera skills. Right, some of you have probably seen this before. Let's get closer. It's a bit rough at the moment. It's been knocking around for a long time. But me and my dad made this 30 years ago now. Yeah, it's got to be 30. 1991. Was about 30 years into it. But yeah, it's looking a bit on the rough side. And it's got a lot of history. It means a lot to me, this does. But the leaf work doesn't look very good at the moment because I actually started hammering that flat to reshape it, because many years ago, not long after we'd done it actually, I wasn't happy with the leaf work, so I started flattening it all out and never got round to putting the shape back into it. So the leaf work looks a bit rough at the moment. It's got all leaf work under here and on the end there, but it's got all scroll work. It's all screwed together, it's all riveted. So I'm going to restore it. Glasses fell out here. Yeah, let's say. All right, let's put this back. My apologies if you already know the story, but back in 91, me and my dad built that because we was approached by Disneyland when they was building Disneyland in Paris. I think it was called Euro Disney back then. Is it still called that? Or is it called Disneyland Paris? Back then it was Euro Disney, I'm sure it was. But yeah, they approached blacksmiths around Europe, France, Germany, Belgium and so on, to all make a piece to demonstrate your skill level, I guess, so they could choose a company that done a lot of the lighting in Disneyland. And we won the contract, which was absolutely fantastic back then. And yeah, so we ended up, and after my mum passed away, I found quite a lot of paperwork from back when we was doing all the jobs for them, which I'll always keep, obviously. So we got all these purchase orders. Yeah, Euro Disney. Yeah, let's have a look. So yeah, we got all this. I shall put this in a better box, to be fair, and keep it safe. So each purchase order had different designs, if I can find them. A lot of old chandeliers that we've done. Oh, we've done all sorts. Let's see what's in this one. I thought it had drawings in them all. There we go, look. August 21, 1991. Yeah, that was a lamp. This was quite big actually, and we had to have all the glass blown into the shape of a pumpkin. Themed lighting. Cinderella Chateau. That was going. Fantasyland. Yeah, there's another one. These were lamps in the shape of dragons, and the lighting would go in the basket. We've done quite a few of them. I think I've got a huge drawing to that actually. Let's have a look. It's actually quite delicate. 30-year-old piece of paper. So these are our workshop drawings. Obviously we used to lay these out on the bench, and this, I believe, was to scale 1:1, I think. I don't know if you can see it. It's, like I say, you see all the burn marks because it was in the workshop, and the holes in there. All the sparks flying around. It's all history though. It's all a part of its history. It'd be good to have that framed actually. I don't know where I'd put it. We live in the smallest house in the world. But as you can see, things they requested, but we would often talk to them and give them better ideas, which quite often they'd go for. It's like the gaps in this basket. Let me get this. Let's have a look at this. Getting sidetracked, hold on. So the gaps in that basket, because it was a bit of a dragon-y medieval thing, we suggested chainmail, and I've still got a piece, look. My mother actually made this, and she made the chainmail for all the baskets that we've done. I can't even remember how many of these dragon lights were done. Probably half a dozen of them. I can't remember. I've banged my head a few times in 30 years. My memory's terrible. But yeah, my mum made this. That's all 6mm split washers. All together. And we put all that in between the structure of the basket. So the light had come through it. As you can see that. It was quite effective actually. I'm not really doing it any justice by doing that, but yeah, I'll say my mum made that 30 years ago. I've always kept hold of it. It took her hours and hours and hours, days, weeks even. You know, bear in mind my mum was riddled with rheumatoid arthritis, but she never grumbled. She just got on with it and done miles of this stuff. Imagine how long it took her. 2 pair of pliers and thousands and thousands and thousands of little split washers, and she just sat there surrounded in boxes making miles of this damn stuff. Well, me and my dad done all the other work to each drawing that we had. Yeah, it was a busy time, interesting time as well. Yeah, it was quite good for us. It was back in them days. It was really interesting to win such a contract. It was amazing. We couldn't believe it to start with. And we used to have the people come over from Disneyland quite often and discuss drawings like this and chop and change things around. Because at the end of the day, a designer's just done this. He maybe, get the idea how metal worked and other things that you could actually do to make it different and better. So yeah, we used to discuss all the different lights that we made. I'll have to go through them and get the pictures. A lot of this is on fax paper, so I need to keep it in a box out the sun, because if the sun hits it, the drawings are going to disappear on fax paper. Back in the day before the internet, everything came through from fax or post. There's another one. And my dad had scribbled his little notes on there, and we discussed many a thing in the workshop of how we're going to tackle it. I remember that there's quite a lot of these lights as well. Yeah, and our notes, our little scribbles on the back. Then we'd often just do, because you're working with hot metal, we'd often like do these drawings in chalk on the floor, which is quite funny because if you got any damp in the concrete, you get the odd explosion from the hot metal when the moisture heats up in the concrete. So it was an harsh environment in the blacksmith shop. It really was good. I enjoyed it. Good old days. And I'm looking forward to having a go on the anvil again. Obviously I've just got to make the forge now, and we'll have a mess about. But that light I've just shown you, obviously that means a lot because it won us this huge contract back in the early 90s to do all that work for Disneyland. So hopefully when my time comes, my kids will have this light and they will look after it and not sell it for scrap. If anyone finds out my children sell that to scrap, go around and see them. No, it needs to stay in the family, that does, for as long as possible. But yeah, I'm going to put all the leaf work right on that, because in my opinion it was never right. Towards the end of making this, we was actually running out of time. We was missing the deadline where we had to produce the work. And yeah, towards the end of making that, as you can see, it's got quite a lot of work in that. We was rushing a bit and I wasn't ever happy with the leaf work. But it still got us the contract, which is amazing. And because we was running that late, my dad put that in the car and drove it to Paris to present it to him in person. But yeah, no doubt he would have talked and talked and talked and talked and talked when he got there. Maybe that one was the contract, who knows. But yeah, so that's got a bit of family history, that is. So I'm going to put all the leaf work right. Originally it was in bare metal, and I want to put it back to bare metal and probably wax it. So yeah, I think I will do that actually, because that's how it originally was. It got painted over the years because it was deteriorating, so we just stuck some paint on it. And there's a few bent pieces on there that need straightening up because it's been passed around everywhere over 30 years with all the moving around I've done. So it'd be good to see it how it used to be, and probably a little bit better actually. So there we go. That's one of the main jobs I'm going to do on this. But like I say, I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to get all the bites finished first, and then in my spare time I'm going to put that light right. And maybe, I don't know yet, I'll choose one of these designs. I'm going to go through them all and perhaps make one of them again. I don't even know if they're still there. I have never ever been to Disneyland to see them. Never. Theme parks are not quite my thing, but yeah, 30 years on, it'd be interesting if anyone's been recently and recognises any lights in dungeons and everything, because we've made dungeon torches as well. I'll go through all the drawings and I might end up making one again. See how that goes. Anyway, it's just a little update. Anvil's painted, although it's a bit skimped. I could have done a drop more paint. I ran out of paint, but that'll be all right. I've got things to get on with. So yeah, anvil's painted. That's going to be the first proper job that I do on it, but it'll be done when the bikes are finished. But in the meantime, I will have a mess about on it, and I'll share that, what we do. So yeah, that'll do. I'll stop rabbiting on, just a little catch up, and I'll catch you all soon. Cheers for watching, guys.